All right. We are live on YouTube as well now. Yeah, we are in a new environment. Here's what happened, you guys, is we have, it's a small house, but they fit 5 bedrooms into our small little house. And they're all really small rooms. And so we gave each of our 4 children their own room. And my 2 oldest have been sharing a room while their grandma was in town. And they didn't want to move back. And I said, you know what? If you want to share a room, go right ahead. And so we are in my basement, and I have changed my office from a physical office where I have to drive 20 minutes to get to. And I'm going to be working out of more from home, which I'm so grateful for. A little bit about me. If you're just barely coming in, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So I am a father of a 3.5-year-old with autism. I have also a 2-year-old with autism, and I have been working with people with autism and disabilities since 2013. I'm currently the CEO of a company in Utah that provides services to people with autism. So autism is kind of my entire life. I'm not diagnosed with autism, but I sure know a lot of people with autism. So let's go ahead and look at some of these questions. What's your best solution or advice for autism? Theory Smasher, that's a very broad question. I appreciate the question. I really do. I think the big thing is that I always recommend to people is if you're a parent of a child with autism, you need a village. Before you worry about all the therapies, you need a village. If you need therapy, do you have someone to go watch your kids? If not, you need to get that village first. So I have autism and I struggle with work. Tiny, I feel ya. I feel ya. Hopefully you know that you have rights to accommodations under ADA. I hope you're advocating for those. AMND says, how do you feel about stem cell therapy? Stem cell therapy is an emerging science, not yet demonstrated to be effective. And so it's expensive. You're looking at $15,000 to $20,000 to try stem cell therapy. I even saw... okay, here's a crazy example of stem cell therapy. So you can't get it in the U.S. However, unless there's a clinical trial. There's currently a clinical trial, I believe, in Florida that they're doing. And you still have to pay $15,000 to participate in the study. And it's not guaranteed that you'll be that you won't be in the placebo group. So you're paying $15,000 without a guarantee of getting the stem cells. So kind of crazy. It's a lot of money, a lot of resources that I don't recommend people put into at this time. And maybe that opinion will change as the science emerges. Luca says, hi. Hello, Luca. Good to see ya. Do I like the TV show Good Doctor? Yeah, I love it. It's great. Luca says, I'm so scared about when I'll die. I know. Who's going to take care of your kids? I think about that almost every day. I really do. I really do. Roadrunner says, no solution, friend. It's a diagnosis, not a death sentence. Love it. Love it. User says, my daughter starts ABA therapy Monday. Will this help her? She's almost 3. Oh my goodness. You are starting at the perfect time. Almost 3 years old. Are you kidding me? Look, kids who start ABA therapy before the age of 3, that's early intervention. Okay. You're going to see so much improvement. You're doing the best thing you can. Okay. Oh, Amy, good to see you. Don't let me keep you guys up late. If you're a regular, I'll be live in the morning too. I'm just doing a test run in my new environment. So don't stress hanging out if you don't want to, but I'm going to be going live here for a little bit. We'll see if we get any traction at night. Let's see. What do I think about equine therapy? Okay, so there are core therapies, like frontline therapies that I recommend to people who have children with autism. And then there's other like supportive therapies that aren't bad, but they not always paid for by insurance and are more of like preference based on the kid. So the frontline therapies that I recommend, the primary ones that you should prioritize are things like ABA therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and mental health therapy. Now, if your kid doesn't need those, or if you're already doing those, there are other therapies that a lot of parents find helpful. Not the frontline therapies, but still helpful. Equine therapy, horse therapy is great. Also, things like music therapy is wonderful. Love it. Would you have your daughter take leucovorin? Amanda's, that's a good question. So I have two kids with autism. I have a 3.5-year-old. I have a 1.5 or almost 2-year-old, and I don't have either of them on leucovorin. And let me explain why. To date, there have been 5 clinical trials for leucovorin. The main one, the largest one that had like 70 or more participants that showed incredible results, was just retracted a couple weeks ago because of errors in the data. So what that tells me is there is not the evidence is not as convincing as some thought that there was, and so I'm optimistic. I think there's potential. The theory behind it is strong, and if I had an opportunity to participate in a clinical trial and have my kids involved, I probably would, because it would be for the better good, the greater good. But right now, there are still some risks with taking it. So, autism family, thank you for stopping in. I know we're going late, so yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support. This is a weird time for us, you guys. If you're here and you're new, let me tell you a little bit about this. Usually I go live in the mornings at noon Eastern time for 2 hours. Today my live was cut short. I had some pressing meetings to get to, but I also moved my office. And so this is a new environment, a new backdrop, and everything. And so, thank you, Amy. Yes, we have a Discord. A little bit about me and this group. It's an autism support page. We support all things autism. We answer questions about autism. We stick to the evidence. We don't do conspiracies here. We don't judge parents, and we don't waste people's time and resources promoting fear-based products and therapies. Fear-based, okay? That is a red flag. If you just got a diagnosis, you are going to see that you are going to be marketed to constantly. People are going to tell you to detox. People are going to tell you how to discipline your child. They're going to tell you to what medicines to take, all the supplements that you need. And I just want to tell you, if you just got a kid diagnosed, or if you have a child with autism, you need to just take a breath. People want you doing way more than you need to be doing. Most of what people are pushing is not evidence-based. And there's a very simple process that you guys can go through to really make sure that you do the basics. Now, people don't push this on TikTok, because if you notice in my bio, I don't have a bunch of supplements to sell you. So I don't make a lot of money from this. I have other businesses and things that I do, and I do this for fun. This is my village. You guys are my village, okay? So I have 2 kids with autism. I'm a board-certified behavior analyst. I also created a product, a training product, that has trained about 80% of the current board-certified behavior analysts in the United States. ABA Wizard, which is a study tool to prepare for the exam. And so that was one of my businesses. I am currently the CEO of a company in Utah that we provide services to people with autism. And then I just go live because it is fun, okay? It's a fun group. Olivia says, what makes you the professional? Well, that's a good question. I mean, that was asked before I explained all of that. Autism is my life. I've been working with people with autism for the past 13 years, and I'm not afraid to say I don't know something. I say it all the time. If I don't know, I just say I don't know. But what I don't do is I don't push products to sell to you guys. That's not what this is, especially products that are, not based in the science. Okay. What do you think about biomed for autistic kids? Well, I think there's a lot of, I guess it depends by what you mean by biomed. If you're referring to more natural approaches to healing autism, I don't think autism is something that you can be healed from. I also don't think our kids have toxins in them that need to be removed. I think there's tests out there that make it sound way worse than it is. Everyone has toxins in their body, and kids with autism don't have more than any other kid, and their livers and kidneys are working fine. Let's see here. Is Lexi on here? That's great. Sorry, Lexi. I should have told all of you guys I was going live tonight. I didn't know I was, but my wife gave me permission. Guys, I'm worried about my kid tonight. I posted a video of him sleeping on my lap. Like, I don't remember that happening for a long time. That is not a common occurrence for my kid to fall asleep on my lap. And I got to thinking because he would not wake up, and I was scared. I mean, this was so weird. We cut his hair while he was sleeping on my lap. We clipped his toenails because it's been a long time since we've been able to do that. We did everything that we could while he was asleep, and he stayed sleeping. And so we went and we put him in bed. He fell asleep at 4 p.m., by the way. 4 p.m. he fell asleep. He is still asleep right now, and it's 8:30 here. We checked we have a Ring camera in his room, and he woke up at 2 a.m. And I guess his iPad was in there and wasn't like locked. And he got onto his iPad and was awake from 2 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. when his light turns green and some soft music starts playing. So I went in there at 7:30 thinking he had just woke up, not knowing he was up all night. And so I don't know what to expect for tonight, you guys. But we may be in for an interesting night. If he's up all night and if I'm up all night, maybe I'll go live again in the middle of the night. And if you're up all night, you can join me. But that's I mean that's the autism life. You know, sleep is an odd thing. So we'll see how this goes. What can be the reason of autism except genetic? Anita, so we know so much about autism. This idea that we don't know about autism and we don't know about the cause, that's not true. Okay, you guys? We know what causes autism. We know that it's about 80% genetic. How do we know this? Twin studies. So you look at identical twins who share identical DNA, and 80% of the time or so, they both have autism. If one has autism, the other also has autism. That's 80% of the time. What about that other 20%? Well, there's other factors. There's environmental factors. There's epigenetics, or how the genes actually, which genes get activated. And there's lots of things that factor into that. So what are some of these environmental conditions? Well, there's infections in the mother. There's during pregnancy. Now, remember, all these environmental factors are during pregnancy or at delivery. And so, like, my daughter, when she was born, she wasn't breathing. And like lack of oxygen during birth or premature birth can be a risk factor to autism if they have the genetics, you know. And so there's other there's other risk factors as well. We know that pollution or wildfire smoke is associated with it. We know the parental age, so the age of the mother and the father. Most commonly the father. That's interesting, right? The age of the father matters. Over the age of 40 increases the risk of autism. So, mom of boys. Oh no. Mom of boys says, I'm so sad. My son came home from his school, a learning center, with bruises from being restrained. Oh, mom of boys. That's hard. I wish I could tell you don't worry about it, but I tell you what, my kid comes home with bruises. I want to say some things right now that TikTok won't let me, but if my kid comes home with bruises, there's going to be consequences. There could be lawsuits. There could be, people being fired from their jobs. They better have everything documented. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go and ask if they have things recorded, and ask for a copy of the incident report to hear what happened. You may need an advocate on your side. In Utah, they have the Utah Parent Center. I think most states have federally funded programs to help you be able to advocate in the schools. I would go and try to get one of those. And people may think I'm overreacting, but I've just seen too many videos. These are things happening while people are on video of people abusing kids with autism. that video of the kid on the bus. If you haven't seen it, don't go watch it. If you have a kid with autism, do not go watch that, because it will make you never trust another human being with your kid ever again. And so, Mamba Boys, they won't tell you what happened. Did you just say that? Are you kidding me? They won't tell you what happened. He comes home with bruises all over his body, and they won't tell you what happened. Oh my goodness. Nope. We are moving this along. We are fighting this. There needs to be consequences here. There needs to be answers. They don't get to just not tell you what happened. Your kid came home with bruises. He's 6 years old. Yeah, you may need to get an attorney involved. You need to, and the police. Amy, that's a good point. If Amy and Lexi, if you guys want to come up tonight, I know this is a weird night. If you guys want to, you guys are welcome to come up. Amy and Lexi are some of my good friends that I made on here. They're fellow autism parents. They're moderators. We got a lot of good people in this community. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, 100%. You need to call the police. I mean, maybe in tandem with a lawyer or before a lawyer, but you need to file formal, reports on this. Get pictures of the bruises immediately. Make sure that this is fully documented, and then make noise, because that is not okay. You're not going to send a child home with physical marks on their body. That is insane.
Yeah.
And here's another thing: you need to call the police ASAP, because you don't want somebody to think that
police are
you
24/7.
did that to your kid. You don't want to get blamed for what happened to your kid. The police needs to know that your kid came home that way, because if not, somebody can accuse you. And this unfortunately does happen to a lot of autism parents, where we get accused of abusing our children because of the fact that they sometimes hurt themselves. I have a child who has autism who used to hurt himself, and they thought I was abusing him, and I was not. He was abusing himself. So you definitely need to get the police involved ASAP. Get off this live and go call 911 and have the cops come to your house so they can document what happened to your child, so you don't get blamed for it. As a mother,
can we get her up here? Yeah. How do we find her? Who is? Let me.
Can someone give me a spark notes of what's going on? I just got here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the parents in chat basically just told us that her son came home from his school with bruises on him from being restrained.
Well, she thinks
first
restrained.
And foremost,
they said they won't say what happened.
Call the police. I would call the police. I would 100% make an appointment ASAP at your pediatrician. Have a pediatrician put Mama Boys right there. Let me pin her.
Mama Boys, are you following me? You have to follow me so that I can add you up here, I think. If you're down to come Mama up and chat with us, you have to be a follower to request. So hit me a follow that I can bring up.
Document that. That is so scary. As an autism parent, my child has taken so many falls, and he's got bruises all over the place. And my first thought taking him to the hospital is, what if they call CPS on me? What if they think I did something to him?
Exactly.
Let's see. I'm trying
Was
to.
this a school or a therapy center?
They will, because they always assume or blame the person who is with them for a majority of the time, which are usually parents. So she has to make sure she documents, she calls the cops and everything, so she doesn't get blamed for it.
Yeah, I mean, and 100%, and that's why I'm saying get your kid in front of a pediatrician too. This needs to be on everybody's radar right now. There's no way your child should or should be coming home at all in any circumstance with marks on their body. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Hi, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Give us a rundown. Maybe we're overreacting. Give us the rundown of everything that happened. Well, first tell us about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from California.
Yeah.
My son is 6 years old. He's level 3 autism, and he sorry. Excuse me. He
You're okay.
was in several schools that rejected him, and I didn't know he had autism, but I recently in September quit my job to advocate for my son. And the school district had said that they had this center that was 45 miles away. Don't worry, they won't call you if your son elopes. They won't this. And I said, that doesn't make me feel comfortable, so I didn't agree to it. And then we actually ended up moving into a different school district that had introduced a learning center. It's called Placer Learning Center, and it's for kids with disabilities and behavioral problems. So initially I didn't want to put him there because I was reading all this stuff, and they talked about restraints, and they had told me that if he did elope, he would be, they would use padding. They wouldn't use force. They would use padding. And yesterday, this has been the past 3 days, it's been very excessive. My son, started learning the curriculum, and he got very overwhelmed and stressed, so he eloped several times. And he had mentioned to me maybe 2 days ago that he eloped, and the gate wasn't locked. And there's a very busy street, and my son ran towards that street, and I don't know why the door was unlocked or why my son ran without his aid. I had talked to him and said, bud, he said, Mommy, you lied to me. You said they wouldn't grab me like that. And that's where I was very alarmed. And I noticed the teacher aide was very sweet and very kind, and now she just doesn't seem like she cares for him much. And today he said, Mom, I spit on her shirt, and she grabbed my t-shirt, pulled me towards her, wiped the spit off of her, and wiped it back on me. And then I brought him home to take his clothes off. And he showed me his arm, and I said, give me your arm. And I took a picture, and he took his clothes off, and he had this huge, you could see finger marks under his underpit. And they were on his legs. And I called the school, and I said, I'm very uncomfortable. My son's full of bruises. And she was offended. It seemed like she was offended. And she said, yeah, I can hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Okay, yeah, okay. And I hung up. And I said, the teacher had texted me. And I told her that he's not going to return to school ever. I said, he's not coming back. Principal called me, the owners, there's 2 owners, they called me today, and they made it seem as if, well, your son was flopping around on the floor like a fish, and they're trying to blame that he did it, is what's going on.
Okay, in no situation is it an autistic child's fault, period, point blank. And I want to say, number one, you need to advocate for your son. But there
Absolutely.
are probably hundreds of kids in this center that are going to continue receiving this kind of treatment that other parents may not recognize. They may be telling these parents,
Their
they
kid might
fell.
not be able to say what your kid was able to tell you.
There's a lot of nonverbal, yeah.
Yes,
So
nonverbal.
they may say that their kids took a fall, or they, whatever. You might not be the only parent with their child coming home with bruises. So not only do you have to advocate for your son, but you have to report this for all of those other kids that are under that care. This makes me so sick thinking about these people. This was a center designed to help children like ours. They were meant to be protected. This is
And
awful.
the sad part is this center is connected to the school district. It's connected to the damn school
10 out of
district.
10, I'm going to say that's why. Because if it's district funded, then it's underfunded, which means they're not hiring the proper people. The kind of situation, like just to compare and contrast, the school that I have my daughter in is the same thing. It is not part of the school district here. It is an out of district placement. However, it is the same thing as what you are supposedly to have your son involved with right now. They will not even attempt to give her medicine if she struggles. They will not even attempt to. If she struggles and it feels like they are going to have to restrain her, they will not even do it. They will refuse, and they will call to me. They will not hug her. They have told me, because I told them my daughter is a very cuddly little girl. She comes and she solicits hugs and cuddles. She's a very sweet-natured little girl. They said that's fine if she comes to solicit it, but we cannot put arms around her. We cannot hug her. We will not do that.
Wow.
because of how much that can be construed. If something happens and it is come to found out that somebody had arms around your child, that is immediate opening for a lawsuit. You cannot restrain.
His aide hugs my child every morning and every time he leaves.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't have an issue with your kid getting hugs, like, I know my child's one-on-one. You know what I mean? And if she were to hug my child, I'm not going to say anything. I trust her to give my child a hug.
Absolutely.
But if I caught her coming home with marks on her body, oh, girl, I wouldn't. I'm not going to say that anything you've done has been wrong. Take the pictures, but make sure you get cops to your son as fast as possible. If you can do it tonight, do it tonight. Get an officer to your home, get eyes on those bruises, make sure they take pictures and write reports. And then as soon as you can, you get that baby boy into the pediatrician and have a pediatrician put eyes on this. Have the pediatrician take pictures if necessary and write up a formal report that they saw this on your son.
I want to ask, because this is overwhelming as it is, being an autism parent without all of this. Do you have help? Do you have support? Do you have a village? Do you have somebody that can help with your son in the meantime while you figure out what you're going to do?
Yes and no. I'm widowed. I have my boyfriend. Maybe he works 7 days a week. He's the reason why I got to quit my job to advocate for my son. I just need to know that I'm not going crazy, that I'm doing the right thing.
You're doing all the right
crazy.
things.
You're not.
Give yourself grace. We do not get an instruction manual for neurotypical children. We do not get an instruction manual for neurodivergent children. This is a lot. This is his first time living, and it's your first time being an autism parent. And every child is so different. Every experience is so different. So give yourself grace. Nobody should have to be in your shoes ever, period. So for you to have to be in this situation, give yourself grace. Now you have this community, and we're all here for you, and we're going to help you and be here as much as we can. But she's right. You have to document this. And if you're able to, keep your baby home. Teach your baby yourself. Nobody loves your baby and can protect your baby and has patience for your baby like you do. If you have the financial means to keep your children home and homeschool them, I absolutely recommend doing that, and look into the state and see if they have people that are willing to come to your house and help out. Some programs have that, but we're all here for you. And I hate that this is even a conversation.
I
was a teacher.
Go ahead, Lexi. I'll let you go, then I'll talk for a minute.
Mama Boyce, I was a teacher until recently. I had to quit my job because of my neurodivergent child, and because of all the therapies, I couldn't keep up with the busy schedule of being a teacher. It is against the law for teachers to put their hands on any child. And I will tell you my experience. I had an autistic child that had aggressive behaviors, and we were always told to keep the other kids away from him, to allow him into a space by himself where if he, tried to hurt himself, it would be padded, or there would be nothing for him to really, really hurt himself. And we were to stay away. That kid that year, he headbutted my glasses into my face. He caused me to have a black eye. He kicked me in my mouth and busted my mouth open. Never once, even when he busted my mouth open and I was bleeding from my mouth, did I ever touch that child. Never once. Because it is against the rules, it is against the law. What they did, regardless of how they did it, is against the law. That is not okay. You do not put your hands on the children who are under your care.
And I told him today, I said, never. And I told him today, I said, you know what, Sarah, I've had to restrain my son before. Never once in my life I put a bruise on my child. Not once.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
I was also going to ask that question. What state are you in?
I'm in California.
He's in California.
Oh, for sure. No, girl, get yourself a lawyer. You live in girl, get yourself a lawyer. I'm telling you right now, you live in the wrong place. You live in the wrong place for that teacher to have put hands on a disabled child. That is insane. I am in a very similar state. I'm out here in Colorado. If that were to have happened in Colorado, girl, you get your bag. You know what I mean? Take care of your son. Make sure whoever did this, make sure they pay. And make sure that there is accountability to be had, but get that boy in front of multiple people and make it very clear what is going on, and get yourself a lawyer.
Botanicals is right. California and Colorado, they are the top in the nation for autism resources and a lot of funding options. Like she's saying, private school, charter school. But if you wanted to homeschool, there are some states that will pay you. So there's like a course that basically they will pay you to be your child's caregiver, for you to stay at home.
That's what I'm doing tomorrow. I have IHSS coming to my house tomorrow morning. We've been waiting 6 months for this. Oh my gosh,
are you guys seeing this comment here from America? But teachers should not be abused either. Guys, we're talking about a 6-year-old. We're talking about a 6-year-old. Are you kidding me?
6-year-olds are not capable of abusing grown adults.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Look, mama boys, I need to talk about this. Your son was abused. It takes a lot to put bruises on a kid, depending on the kid. But from what you're saying, it would take a lot of force to bruise your kid. And there is something that your child isn't expressing to you, and something the school isn't telling you about. When there is an incident, schools inform the parents before a kid tells them. And like, they didn't tell you anything until you reached out to them. That's a red flag.
Correct.
Your kid has a bruise.
3 days in a row.
3 days in a row. And your kid told you, look, how disgusting is it for your kid to tell you that after spitting on a teacher, the teacher wiped it off and wiped it on him? I mean, are you kidding me? That's abuse. That's abusive. That's mistreatment. And then the bruise. Look, I don't want you up here talking to us right now. And the reason for that is because I need you to call the police.
Okay.
I need you to get off here and get a hold of the police. And not just to keep your kids safe, but there's other kids there, and something's not right here. And I'm not trying to accuse them of I don't have answers of what happened, but a thorough investigation is absolutely warranted. The police need to pull their cameras. They need to go and question every single staff member separately about what incidents have taken place with your child. And they will absolutely do that. I mean, you come and you share this with them, they are absolutely going to go and investigate this. So please get off this live. Notify the police. Okay. I know it's late.
You were the first person I thought of when this happened. I said, I got to talk to someone. I was looking for you all day.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am. I'm glad I went live tonight.
Also, make sure when you speak to the police that you give them a full account of what went down, what your son told you. If your son is still awake, I don't know what time it is for you. You're behind me. So yeah, you should still have time. Yeah. You have your son corroborate what you're talking about to the police officer if he can, if he's able to. My daughter is nonverbal, so like I get it if he can't. Secondary to that, you make sure you tell that officer how the conversation went down between you and the school when you called to ask questions. And then every conversation you have between that education school and yourself from this point forward needs to be recorded.
And I only speak.
Or needs to be done via email.
Yeah, teachers, when they call me, I only go through their messages. I need my track record. I don't talk to them. It's all through text messages.
And I'm going to tell you one thing. I know this is going to sound like really overreaching, but if you have not screenshotted everything that you had, every communication that you received today about this incident, you need to screenshot it, because the school, to cover their behinds, sorry, I'm trying to remember TikTok friendly, to cover their behinds, might delete your account so you can't access it. So I'm sorry, I know it sounds really harsh, but like,
It's
we have
your
to
text
think.
message. I have it. It's your
Okay.
text message.
Yeah. Okay, then perfect. Make
Yeah.
sure that you screenshot it anyways with timestamps and everything that you can get off of your phone, because if for whatever reason it gets deleted, it gets whatever, then you can have that proof. Because here's the thing, from this point forward, like Amy said, from this point forward, they're going to try to find a way to get out of it, and they're going to try to find a way to put it back on you, because unfortunately it is what it is. Obviously these educators or this school or whatever the place is, they don't care. So make sure that you document everything. Like Kylan said, get off this live, call the police, and tell them that you need to report abuse towards your disabled child. Make sure that you specify that there was abuse done to him by the school. He is disabled, so that they can prioritize your phone call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me.
Also,
I need
you
to.
can find, I mean, obviously you have our TikTok accounts, but we have I know that you're new in here because you weren't following Kylan. We have a Facebook support group. Join that. You'll find me, Lexi, Amy, Kylan. We're all in there. If you want to report back to us after you get done with the police, or if you need support, my DMs are always open. The group's always open.
We're always
Yeah,
here.
I'm pretty sure,
I answer all the
I'm
time.
a follower because I watch this guy religiously.
Okay, you probably were, and it just wasn't letting me invite you up. I was making assumptions.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Okay,
no worries
sure.
at all. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. But
Also call your state disability rights office. That's a good one, Anka. I forgot about that. Call the state disability rights office probably tomorrow, after you deal with all of this and the cops and stuff, because he is disabled. He has rights.
yeah.
Okay.
You need to know though that like a lot of this, I'm already hearing it in your voice a little bit of you blaming yourself and not knowing and all of that. You are doing everything right. I mean, you did not make this happen. You sent your son to where you felt was the absolute safest, best spot for him. And so please do not let for a second your mind go to a spot where you are blaming yourself. Okay?
It's I sit
I
in
know,
that
baby.
parking lot waiting for him. I get so worried.
And that should never be the case for any mom. From one
Not
mother
your
to
fault.
another, I'm gonna say a similar sentiment to Kylan, but far more ratchet. You are a mama bear, and I know that anger is inside you. You get feral. You take care of this baby boy. You get feral. You have every reason to be upset right now. You be feral. You take care of your child. Like, you be mad. If you need to be mad, you be mad. We are here for you. Destiny's right. Our DMs are open. I know Kylan's DMs are open. All of us are here to support you any way that we can. I am so sorry that you have to go through this.
Yeah. Did we lose her? Did she hop off? Destiny
We
dropped.
lost
Oh,
two
good night,
people.
Destiny. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Mama boys, I look, you are definitely not to blame. You've done everything you can. Oh, you're back? Okay. Look, you have done everything you can. You are not to blame. I mean, I'm right here. I'm getting emotional talking to you because I know what it feels like to feel like you put your child in a vulnerable situation. And you did everything right, and you're doing everything right, and we're gonna get your boy safe. So please make sure you're part of either our Discord or Facebook group or both. The link in bio. We need updates. We need to have updates. Okay. We need to have updates, and you got a group of people here. You can DM me, Lexi, Amy, Destiny. You can DM any of us anytime, and if you have questions about this specifically, we'll walk you through it. We'll hold your hand. You got this. Okay. Thank you. All right, everybody. Wow. How we doing, Lexi? How we doing, Amy? That was a lot, and yeah, that was heavy.
That was a lot, and I just watched a video yesterday. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a newer video, And there was a child at an ABA center, and the ABA center had cameras in this room, and there was a gentleman who was his one-on-one provider. The door was shut. There was no windows to view inside of the room, and this guy grabbed a shoe and he started throwing it at the kid with autism, and then he grabbed the kid by the arm and took the shoe and hit him in his back. And so I just got done watching that video not too long ago, and then to come on here and hear that it's happening to somebody in our village, in our community, it's hard. I'm shaking. I'm crying. I'm like
pissed. I am
I
pissed
don't
for from one mother to another mother. I am livid for her right now, because the way the way blood would be spilled if that was my child, the way, I'm telling you, I will go to prison over my child. I do not care.
100%.
I do not care. And it
here's the
is
thing,
wild
she's
to
part
me.
of
It
our
is wild
village.
to me.
She is our village, and we're gonna fight with her. So, like,
Yes.
keep us posted, because we're right there with you. And if people aren't responding to you, we got hundreds of people behind you supporting you to take care of your
Girl,
kid.
and I got your bail money if you ever need it. Girl, you hit me up. I got you.
I'll
I
help
got you,
too.
baby
I'll
doll.
figure it out.
We'll start
We'll
a GoFundMe.
We'll do a GoFundMe.
You got me?
Go
Yeah.
fund me for the
We'll
mom.
start a GoFundMe, girl. We got you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love
That
that.
GoFundMe would probably go wild. I'm not even kidding.
That
We
thing
have a
would be
wonderful
popping off,
village.
bro. The amount of money she would get would be wild.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh.
And it could be, the headline could be, Mom beats the beep out of teacher for
Out of
touching her,
abuser?
Out of-
her
out of
autistic
disabled
abuser.
child abuser.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Charity is right. We would have enough for the next person in trouble. That is absolutely correct.
Guys, you don't mess with disabled kids. You don't mess with any kids, but man, you really don't mess with disabled kids. And look, it's a lot. Working with people with autism is not for everyone, and people need to know themselves. Like I interview people all the time that this is their first time ever working with people with disabilities, and like I give them a very real presentation of what it's like. Like, you will be hit, you will be bit. I have an employee that got bit so hard it caused permanent damage to her muscle from a kid. And I feel terrible, but she has the best heart of anybody, that she like went back the next day and just loved on this kid. Like, that is the heart that we need. The people who, I'm not saying that people should deserve to be beat up, but people deserve to be supported, not abused. And people with autism need a special level of support sometimes.
Yeah, like I said, those stories that I was telling about myself are true. It happened in a year that I had this autistic child. The next day I went with my eye all bruised up. It was all black around my eye from where he headbutted my glasses into my face. I went back like nothing happened. The next day I was again with the same child, because I was the only one out of the 3 teachers in that classroom who had like the patience, the understanding. And it wasn't because my child has autism, because at that point I didn't even know that my child had autism. It was just that I knew that something was different about this child, and that he could not regulate himself, and that his actions were not him. Because any other time he would be very loving and he would hug me, and he used to call me, well, because he couldn't say teacher, so he would say Peacher. So he would say, Peacher Alex, and he would drag me by the hand. And like, I was the only one that he hugged and the only one that he cared about out of that whole classroom. But I did get beat up that year. It's something that happens. And if you work with children, you have to be.
Girl, I get beat up every day. When
I
was
get
this
beat
not
up here
part of
every
what
day
we
too,
signed up
but-
for? I got kicked by my daughter at least 4 times today. When was that not part of what we signed up for? Like, I don't understand. I don't.
My son had a meltdown today in the Circle K because he wanted something and he couldn't have it, and I was just sitting there like watching him, and he was kicking all over the place and people were just staring. I was like, keep going, he has autism, leave him alone.
No, don't get near him. That's for sure.
Yeah, because
no, my daughter.
Out of you.
All I was doing was touching her leg, and she didn't want me to touch her leg anymore today, and she cocked back and just kicked me right in the side of the jaw with her foot. I mean, she's 33 pounds, but a 33 pound child can pack a lot of punch in a kick. And I just kind of looked at her and I was like, okay, that was a bit of an overreaction,
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys, I am worried about what tonight's going to look like. Were you guys in here when I was explaining what happened with my kid today?
I saw the video you posted.
Well, he fell asleep.
Yeah, I was.
He fell asleep at 4 p.m., but I found out that last night he's been up since 2 a.m., and he fell asleep at 4 p.m., and he's still sleeping. And I don't know if he's going to sleep through the night or if he's going to wake up any minute and be up for the next 8 hours. So, we'll see how this goes.
Ange in Idaho wants to come up and talk about something important.
Yeah. Ange, we're kind of chill tonight. I'm going to invite you up, but I'm also going to introduce a little bit of the live for people that are new here while you're coming in, Ange. Just wanted to let everyone know. So I go live every day. I live in Utah. My name's Kylan. I got 2 kids with autism. I got a 3.5-year-old, and I have a almost 2-year-old diagnosed with autism. And autism seems to be my whole life. I'm a board-certified behavior analyst. I've worked with people with autism since 2013, and I am the CEO of a company that provides services to people with autism throughout the state of Utah. We just found out today that we got the lease that we were trying to get in Salt Lake, and so we are officially opening a clinic in tentative opening date June 1st. That they're doing some construction on the building. So kind of exciting. Our 4th clinic that we have in Utah, and when I'm not live, I go live just because I think it's fun, and I go live every single day. This is my 2nd time going live today because the first one got cut short, and I do 2 hours a day, and I didn't want to miss out on the 2 hours. It's something I enjoy doing. So had to go live today. If you notice, my background's a little bit different today. I moved my office. This is my basement, so I have some more flexibility now that I have some room. My kids are sharing a bedroom now. Or 2 of I have 4 kids, and they wanted to share a bedroom, and I'm like, hey, go for it. If you want to share a room, go for it. I'll turn it into an office. So we turned it into an office today. Also, this is a village. I always teach that the first thing that you need to do if you have a kid with autism, if you have autism, you need a village. And this is the exact reason why. If you're just coming in, a little bit ago, we had a parent come in who felt like her kid was being abused, but needed to hear it from other people. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the paper crane. That was cool. And came in. We were able to reassure her that she's not crazy. She needs to get the police involved right now. I mean, this is what a village does. We stand by each other. We back each other. Let us be your village. So hit us a follow to go live, but also join our Discord. Link is in the bio, or our Facebook group. The link to that is in our bio. But Ange, sorry, I brought you up and then I just started rambling. How's it going, Ange?
No, you're good. We are in the car because I am a solo mom to a profoundly autistic little boy who is 8. Yeah. And he unfortunately has influenza B and viral pneumonia. And so the only thing keeping him out of meltdown right now is driving. And in the last
this has been
4
a few
days
that you've been doing this, Ange.
So basically you kind of have to think about like what you do for like a newborn baby when they're upset. The only thing, sometimes the only thing you can do is drive, and you just drive until you can't drive anymore. In the last 4 days, I have driven about 700 miles just in circles. But it keeps him out of meltdown, and it keeps me with my sanity. And so, my kids
are sick too. It's not as bad. They just have sore throat and runny nose. But with autism, it's so hard because they just don't understand. Like they don't understand what's going on. And
it is. And specifically with my kiddo, we had their neuropsych testing done, and they said that when he is at like his his baseline when he's dysregulated, he actually functions at an 8-month-old. And so he kind of reverts back to that like kind of infant like I don't know how to describe it. I am learning. We did the neuropsych testing about 1.5 years ago, and so I'm kind of learning as I go. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about, I also have a background in childcare. I worked in childcare for 12 years.
Yeah.
With special needs kids and neurotypical kids. And one thing, because I worked in a room with toddlers, one thing that I became very familiar with is incident reports.
Yeah.
Something that happened with my son in kindergarten, I actually pulled him out and ended up homeschooling him for a year because in kindergarten, he was actually... I don't know if I can say the word on live, so I'm just going to spell it out. He was open-handed, CHOCKED,
Oh my gosh.
by another student on 4 separate occasions, and I was never told.
Ugh.
The reason why I was never told, according to the school, was they said that it was HIPAA protected. If a school ever tells you that your child being hurt is HIPAA protected, that is a lie. That is not true. The only thing that is protected by HIPAA is the name of the child who hurt your child.
Yep.
Because it was
Sorry, I couldn't
verbal.
tell you that your child was hurt because of HIPAA.
So here's the other part of it. It happened on 4 separate occasions. He had started getting aggressive at home, and he's completely nonverbal, and we've tried AAC, but he just can't quite get it. And so it's more of reading body language and modeling and a bunch of other things. But he had started doing it to me at home, and I'm like, where is this coming from? And school's like, oh, we don't know. Until they had a substitute who was in the classroom and slipped up and told me. But because I could not get them to admit it in writing, the laws, the way that they are written, I was not able to press charges.
Oh, no.
And I was not able to go after the school for more training either. So the one thing that, like, when I'm telling other parents and stuff, hey, if you ever have a situation like this, make sure you get it in writing. Make sure you know if your state is a 1 or a 2-party state. If it's a 2-party state, you have to get consent before you record. Otherwise, it is not admissible in court.
Yep.
And if it's another student, the only thing that they, number one, if it's like a serious injury, like they have to write it up. If it's a scratch, depending on what your school district, what their rules are, they either are required to tell you or they're required to write it in an incident report. But it varies from school to school and from district to district.
Yeah, it's always a red flag in any organization if you find out about an incident from someone else. If you hear about it from your kid, if you find out because of a bruise, if you hear about it from, a substitute teacher, like incidents need to be, okay, so incidents happen. In our ABA clinic, we work with, in Utah, we work with some really challenging people. We have aggressive adults. If you think it's hard with a 6-year-old, like we got, 25-year-old men who are doing similar behaviors that we're working with. And incidents happen. And the key is like you're saying, incident reports and total and complete transparency. I mean, it's a huge red flag if an organization is not telling you about an incident. Like, that is the bare minimum. The moment something happens, my staff are just thinking, all that's going through their head is, I need to tell this person's parent. Like, we need to talk to them and tell them about what happened. And so, my goodness.
Yeah, and I've been in the situation as well. My daughter, it wasn't her being violent, but she got bit at school. One of the other kids there bit her arm, and it did not break the skin. And see, that's where their rules kind of, teeter right there. They did tell my husband when he picked her up and everything like that, but they did not call us to let us know that it had happened during the day. We found out when we picked her up, because they were able to ensure that it did not break the skin and it was not, like an open wound type situation. Had that been the case, we would have been immediately called to take her to our pediatrician and so on and so forth.
Yes.
So I was not too terribly bothered, and that sounds weird, you know what I mean? Because you want to know if your kid got bit. But I was not that upset. I did take her to the pediatrician anyways. But that sometimes is a very fine line to walk, and so you have to be aware. Like, I know someone said my child got their hair pulled. As upsetting as that may be to you, that is typical toddler and child behavior, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes,
And they
it
are
is.
not going to call you every time your child gets their hair pulled or if they pull someone else's hair.
Yeah.
It's just something that the educator has to step in and be like, hey, you don't behave that way, that's not okay, please stop.
You cut out there for the last few seconds, Amy.
Oh, yeah, I was saying that, that's kind of the fine line they walk. That's when an educator steps in and they discourage the behavior any further.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. You guys, this was a fun little trial run. I wanted to make sure my setup was working. Tomorrow's our main stream, everybody. If you're new here, make sure you hit me a follow. I go live every single day for 2 hours. This is just a shorter little stream. I better go try to get some sleep because I think that my kid is going to wake up any minute. And hit me a follow so that you can find me next time I go live. We answer lots of questions up here. Today was a little bit more casual. I brought up some friends and we just chatted. But we also talked to some people about some really important stuff. Join our Discord, join our Facebook. Those groups are active and they're supportive. No one's going to try to sell you stuff. If people try to sell stuff in that group, please report them. Please, we have moderators to take it down. We're not there to be sold to. We're not advertising supplements. We're not trying to get ABA providers in there to try to market their services. It's purely supportive and a safe space where we, I share a lot of my wife shares updates. I share updates. It's a lot of fun. Facebook group is in the chat or in my bio. Just go to my bio and you can find it there. But yeah, make sure you're following me. I also want to say a big thank you to Big Head, who sent a bunch of gifts like crazy to me and to Amy and to Lexi. That was so cool.
Thank you,
for
Big
that.
Head.
Yeah. And Mama of Two was sending stuff. Oh my, we got lots of gifts going this time, and I'm not always good at catching it right off the bat, but we appreciate that. That's really kind of you guys. All right, you guys. Ange, good luck. Yeah, good luck with your kid. I'm so sorry. Having a sick kid is the worst. I think I'll make a video about like how hard it is for autism parents when their kids are sick. Like it's not. I got 2 neurotypical kids, 2 kids with autism, and it's a very different story when 2 of them are sick and the other 2 are sick. So I think I kind of want to talk about that some more, but I'll make a video. You guys, thank you for being here. Please join the lives. Yeah, all my kids are sleeping. Yeah, all my kids are sleeping. I'm gonna go and try to sleep myself. And we usually
Can I just say one thing?
Please do.
For the people that are joining the Facebook page, please make sure that you answer the questions so that we can accept your request. We don't want to deny anybody, but we do want to protect the safe space for our parents because we're all parents in there and we're all supporting one another.
Yeah.
So please make sure that you answer the questions. It literally takes like 1 minute. So a bunch of yes and no. Everything's filled out for you. You just need to select so that way we can get you in. Because if we don't get responses to those questions, unfortunately, we have to deny the request. It's like terms and conditions of our page, basically.
Yeah. Destiny told me to run to the bed, so I got to go to bed, you guys. Destiny said so. I'll be on in the morning, you guys. I'll see you guys at 10. That's noon Eastern time. So hit me a follow. Amy, Lexi, thanks for keeping me company. This is good.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Anytime.